神殿に行くのはまだ先でしょ。は
あ、神殿に入ることは決まったものの。
When you take away the inner monologue, this girl looks really creepy in how she acts, bruh.
明日はベンノさんのところに行くのよね。
ルツ、ちょっといいか。
Character who still always has his eyes randomly shut and walks into stuff around the store cliché.
ああ、そば使いが必要ということか。
そば使い
For the first time of the first? No!
早速本に釣られたってわけか。
Is it really being baited if you got all of the terms you wanted in the process? By the time she reaches the end of this building, everyone who was in the street has changed position like a bunch of alien shape-shifting ne'er-do-wells.
まずは丈夫になることだね。じゃあ。そうそう。マインのことを聞き回ってる男がいたよ。
So weird when you take away the inner monologue and you realise that she's just been standing there, eerily watching this lady walk away, and this one gets a sin, because it is weird, and I made the first one as a joke, and didn't think it would pop up again quite so quickly.
商業ギルドに侵入者？
ああ、そこで工房のことが漏れたと見て間違いない。
You assume you have no idea who broke in or why at this point in time.
大丈夫だ。マインは俺が守るから。
もうイタリアンレストランにしちゃえ！
またわけのわからないこと言ってるの？
She wasn't even shown to be speaking, so the better question is, what are you going on about now, since she seemingly sat there in silence writing on her board? I wonder how they managed to stretch this episode out!
もうせっかく神殿長好きになれたのに、相手が女じゃ私の魅力が通じないじゃない。
Okay, let's dial it back once again. She's 8 years old!
お前貴族じゃなくてただの平民なんだろ。
ギル、言葉が過ぎる。マイン様、態度が過ぎるときは諌めるようにと先ほど新館長もおっしゃったでしょう。
Yeah, alright, chill out, bruh. You literally started talking the second the kid finished his sentence. Give her a chance to take her belt to him first, you feel me?
そうよ。神殿長に認めてもらって愛人になるんだから。愛人って威張ることなの？愛人は女が一番望む地位よ。
こんなの常識だろ。なんで知らないんだよ。
She didn't say that she didn't know about it. She said, is that really something that you want to be bragging about? Wanted to become his concubine to have an easy life. And let's also not forget that she's friggin' 8 years old. You need to stop!
私もあなたたちのことそば使いとは思わないから。
マイン様、新館長に報告しますよ。
そば使いって言われても、こんなの信用しろって方が無理だよね。
I don't think that was their intention in literally any way, especially since you've already been made aware to the fact that they specifically told the two of them to give you a hard time and to report back everything you're doing to them. Why would you think they wanted you to trust them? Oh yeah, I forgot about that pretty annoying wah thing in this anime. Man, that gets irritating. Yeah, wants you to read it and thinks the best way to do that is to open up halfway bloody through it, apparently.
なんでついてくるの？
そば使いですから。
そば使いもなく誰かに会うなんてありえないわ。
So they followed her out there, assuming that she would be going off to meet with someone and not just head home?
私はルッツが一緒だから大丈夫だよ。
いいのか？
そういえば、そば使いはどうしたのですか？姿が見えませんが。
Funny that you should say that.
この商品なんですけど。
ルッツ。
あいつは今、商人になろうと一生懸命努力している。
Saying someone's name instead of talking normally. Also though, very weird how they have a full-on conversation right there about the lad in front of him, and meanwhile, he's just wanting someone to answer his freaking question.
おお、通じた。
Not that you can possibly see him from that angle, though.
そのようなことはありえません。親子ほど年が離れているんですよ。
マイン様もおっしゃる通りありえません。
親子くらいの年の差ならばさほど珍しくもあるまい。
You lot need to pack it in! Stop! Alright, let's go ahead and dial it back a little on the extra clean magic sounding sound effects, boys.
おお、外だ。
私たちの服まで用意していただいたとは。
This guy asks this question after he's already put on the clothing and headed outside.
何もかもあんたのせいよ。勝手に部屋を賜って、おかげで神殿長に能なし扱いされたじゃない。
She awkwardly waited like what must have been half a day to prepare for this confrontation, given that since she was chucked out, Mine headed into town and had lunch, and then went and met with Benno, and then came back here with the cooks, prepared the recipe with said cooks, and then they made the meal while they waited.
お客様の不況を買わないためにも花は必要でしょ。
You lot really need to pack it in! Stop!
誓い？
そう。ここには洗礼式前のチビと灰色巫女がいるんだ。
The idea that this little kid could remove this big old wooden plank from the door with just one hand.
あ、マイン様。
She falls face forwards, but somehow ends up straight on her back.
もうマイン様を誓いに連れてくなんてバカよバカ。
While we're talking about it, why are they referring to that as a basement when it's not a basement? It's an outbuilding if anything, since none of it is underground in any way.
あんなことになってるなんて知らなかったんだよ。あ、マイン様、気がついた？
Asking someone if they're awake when they're awake, brought to you by the one and only player in the game, Japan.
ごめんなさい、ギル。フランの言う通り、私が動くのは危険だわ。
Couldn't they just bring more food to them that maybe they make in her oven? They obviously had no issue with the two of them taking the food to them in the first place, so why would extra trips or more food cause an issue?
今日はここで話をする。
ベッドで。
新館長。
お、扉だ。
来なさい。
Super weird to start the conversation in front of the bed then in that case.
今のままだと気になって本が読めないんです。だから助けようと決心しました。
More importantly, why the hell wouldn't she say it's because she wants to help the children? She phrased it in just about the weirdest way possible. I want to be able to read my books and I can't concentrate on that when I'm thinking about the kids. She says it in the most stupid and selfish way humanly possible, and she's known for speaking her mind, especially in this secret room where he's actually being entirely honest for once.
神殿長には黙っててあげる。その代わり、やる以上、失敗したら許さないんだから。
Young girl flicking her hair over her shoulder-related sound effects brought to you by someone very lightly opening a plastic bag. Might sound silly, but for a bunch of starving kids, they sure do leave behind a lot of soup and breadcrumbs. Like, when your boy here is cutting calories, I damn well even lick the plate, and I'm not starving, you feel me?
すごいフルーツ。
マイン様。
回復したのではなかったのか。
Now, what exactly is it about spending time in a room that caused her health to take such a turn for the worse? Surely not moving around is what helps her the most. Hence, most of season 1 she was stuck in a bed for days on end recovering.
お前、何やってんだ。どうしたんだ。勝手なことばっかしやがって。とっとと帰るぞ。いい加減にしろ。
うん、ちゃんと仕事してたよ。ラルフとは喧嘩になっちゃったけど。
That's a weird fight where one person asks to be left alone, has his arm grabbed, and then stands silently waiting for his brother to leave. What a violent young man he is!
ベンノさん、なんとかならないんですか？
俺としてはルッツとの養子縁組を考えている。
Oh yeah, I'm sure given how they were dead set on not allowing him to travel out to another city, and how they've been near attacking the store and protesting outside every day asking to have their child/brother back, that they'd be extremely open to the idea of allowing him up for adoption.
あんた、まだわからないのかい。 父さんは父さんなりに認めてたってことだよ。
親の反対振り切って男が一度選んだ仕事なら住み込み見習いだろうがなんだろうが根性でやりきればいい。
そうだよ。
Meanwhile, he was actually doing that, and yet the mother was charging in, demanding her son be returned to her and allowed her kids to chant his name outside the shop for days. So what are you on about, lady?
私、生まれてくる子供のために絵本を作るよ。
絵本？
そう、絵本。
Yeah, alright, she clearly heard you. She doesn't understand what a picture book is. So saying, yeah, a picture book a second time doesn't exactly clear things up.
絵本？
絵本？
絵本とは何だ？
これで3回目だよ。
Actually, it's the fourth.
突然何を言い出すのですか？
君は身内をことさら大事にする傾向がある。神殿長に魔力を向けてでも家族を守ろうとしたように。
Tried? There was no tried. She messed him up badly, bro, and you begged her to stop. Tried. Just putting this out there, but I really felt like they had not enough stills and so dragged out each one that they did have for longer, and I felt it, boys.
本当にごめんなさい。
Very brief anime go run cliche.
この方法で作ってみます。そう言ってもらえると助かります。新しい手法でどこまでできるか、私も挑戦してみたいのです。ビルも無理はしないでください。
Why would you randomly be concerned by that? She's asking her to do the work. She's like, yeah, for sure, I'll do it. Plus, it's a good challenge for myself. And she's like, oh my god, don't push yourself, Kate. Very still laughing.
マイ、切って。
Girl who understands everything there is to know about pretty much everything is like, what? Snippet? What's that mean as you're holding the large piece of extra thread off the book I created from scratch? What?
インクの匂いだ。
It's not that funny, is it?
おそらく図書室を荒らしたのは君を収穫祭へ行かせないためのただの嫌がらせであろう。
But since the carriages were merely minutes away from leaving, given that by the time she found the library in a state, got taken to the head priest's office, and then spoke with him in the secret room, they had already left, what was the sense in even attacking the library? Your plan only works if, instead of going to the Harvest Festival with all the other blue robes, she's heading to the library, in which case she wouldn't be going there anyway, and thus it's pointless attacking the books one way or another.
なんですのこれは。
これはマイン様、すっげえ怒るんだろうな。
She walks up to them and stops still, and they're all at the entrance to the library, but when the shot changes, they're now all inside, including her.
冬は大事な儀式があるから。
儀式よりマインの体調の方が大事だ。
Meanwhile, he forgets that the only reason she's still alive is because she's giving them her manna on the regular.
貴族の業務？
No sin here exactly, but anyone else ever notice how they draw the mouth in this anime oddly far around the face? Like, you can actually see the lips at the front of the face, and it's like she has two mouths. Brr!
次第より討伐の協力と神官の要請をいたします。
鳥が石になった。
Yeah, clearly it wasn't a bird though, was it? You know, since it spoke and was entirely white and stuff?
マイン様、お祈りの言葉は覚えてらっしゃいますね。
So, do you remember it?
これ本当に神官長？
It is, and he even somehow managed to tuck the end of his chin into his suit of armor, which is highly impressive.
神官長、これは何ですか？
魔石を変化させた奇獣だ。行け。
うわあ！不思議ライオンが動いた！
For some reason, she failed to pick that up beforehand, even when he said rideable beast.
与えたまえ。
武器が黒く。
She can see that clearly from all the way down there in spite of the distance and the fact that they've got their weapons kind of perched on the backs of their beasts, blocking the view from below.
ほら、あの青いマントはフェルディナンド様だ。
He thinks she can't make out which one of them is her own boss at the church, even though she can see their thin bows turn a different colour.
魔力の多さを見込まれ、領主の許可を得て青の衣を与えられた見込み習いだ。
Well, that was a little weird. This anime has some strange delays sometimes, like they had to fill time or something.
もうよい、十分だ。
新館長、これで大丈夫なのですか？
Yes, and you know how I know that? He already said that would do.
騎士団が私の命に背くようなことをするとは考えてもみなかった。
護衛の暴走は想定外ですよね。新館長の責任ではないですよ。
She says with almost no real understanding of how the noble system works.
助けに行きたくてもどこにいるのかわからないし、すげえ焦った。マインが無事で本当に良かった。
So concerned was he that he never even made his way to the church until she had already arrived back and gotten changed.
すぐに部屋に来るようにと。
また何かやったのか？
He makes it sound like he only ever wants to see her when she's done something bad, when the truth is she meets with him quite often about all sorts of matters, and Lutz knows that since he's also been along a few times.
新館長、参りました。
ああ、マインか。では隠し部屋に来なさい。
新館長、私何かしましたか？
Now she's being weird, making out like the only time they go into that room is when he has to tell her off for something, when that's not been the case on numerous different occasions. In fact, I'd wager from everything I've seen, they've had 90% normal conversations in there compared to a telling off. In fact, I'm not even sure he has told her off in there. Also though, how secret will that secret room continue to be if every time he wants to speak to her in it, he calls it the secret room? If the idea is that he doesn't want anyone listening in, then surely he shouldn't feel comfortable constantly talking about the secret room while not in the secret room. Nathan Byrne, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Brian Anderson, Isael Caldera, Chris Harris, Yona Shao, Manolo Salcedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Kim Light, Consul Peasant 12, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Juffa 6263, Amy San, Silva, Master Tank, Boogie, Kevin Nauta, Stefia, Brendan Kriya, Storm 970, Mr. Waffle 64, Theodore Quackens, Kaj Vorzuma, Jordan Samuels, Amya Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Buzz 3000, Adora Blue, Yagai 7636.